Welcome to a gentle-ish vinyasa practice. I'm starting to call it gentle-ish because it kind of goes by, like, honestly, how I'm feeling. Today, I really do feel like slowing things down, but I also feel like moving a little bit. So hopefully I'm going to serve up something that kind of fits where you're at today. But as always, you've already carved out the time to be here. Listen to your body. If it serves you best to come into Shavasana and just breathe through the rest of this 30-minute practice, you would be doing an amazing yoga practice, right? So we're here meeting our needs, working to find a little bit more of a connection to how we feel and how we can respond to the sensations in our body and the environment around us with a little more skill. That in mind, let's start in a comfy seat. You can sit in Sukhasana with your legs crossed like I have, or you might choose to sit in any other position. Let's bring the palms onto the knees or the thighs. Shrug your shoulders up into your ears like you're making your neck disappear. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, slowly empty the breath and relax the shoulders. Keep letting them get heavier and heavier, like you're sliding them into the back of your waistband. I'm going to do that again. Inhale, the shoulders shrug toward the ears. Maybe you've closed your eyes down. Keep lifting the shoulders. Pause, hold the inhale. Then slowly exhale, shoulders release as you completely empty your breath. Let your lower jaw go as well. One more. Inhale, the shoulders shrug. See if you can lift as high as you can without hurting yourself. So even a little bit more breath at the top. And then exhale and release. Turn the palms to face up. And then without forcing anything here, just allow the breath to move into its own natural rhythm as you create a little more awareness of your posture. And not in a rigid way by any means. Just notice if you can sit up a little bit taller for the sake of allowing your spine to feel a little more spacious. Lift the chest gently as you continue to allow the shoulders to roll down your back. And we'll stay here just noticing whatever is arising. Noticing the sensation of an inhale versus the sensation of an exhale. Just for a minute or so, inviting the mind, the body, maybe the spirit or whatever concept of that you happen to all have the opportunity to land and arrive. Stay here just a few more moments. Notice if the body's leaning forward or leaning backward. See if you can find that spot where you really do feel a sense of evenness or equilibrium. Without anything that's rigid, sitting tall with the heart open. So the breath can move really freely here. Bring your awareness to your hips and your sit bones, and with your next inhale, as if you could scan the body from the hips and the base of the spine, breathing in, moving all the way up through the spine and the torso to the crown of the head. With a sigh, open your mouth for your exhale. And blink or flutter the eyes open. Let's stay in a seat, but switch the cross legs if you're cross-legged like me. If you're in another variation of a seated position that makes sense to kind of change it up, go ahead and do so. And then from here, let's bring the hands forward and start to circle through the wrists and the hands, almost like you're drawing kind of figure eights with the wrists and the fingers. And then let's go ahead and close the fist down and just draw circles with your fists, checking in with your wrists. And turn the palms to face up. Open the hands and press the palms away from you as you start to straighten the arms, bringing your fingertips down. And then we're going to lift the arms, bend the elbows, bring the fingers toward your shoulders as you start to draw the elbows up. Find a stretch around the underarms and the triceps. We're going to do that a couple times. Start to release the arms forward, lengthening and straightening the elbows, and then fingers touch down with the palms facing out. And then reversing, bringing the arms up, fingers toward the back of the shoulders, elbows pointing upward. And just moving through this a couple times. We're not trying to do this movement fast. It's actually like a nerve glide, nerve flossing movement. So we're just allowing any of the kind of like sticky, congested areas around the nerves, sometimes we call them adhesions, to start to move around a little bit so that the nerves don't feel like they're getting pinched as we move into some other ranges of motion and a little bit of weight bearing today. We're going to keep working with this movement, but bring the arms out to your sides. So fingers down, palms out. And then as we curl, this time the elbows are going to point more just out to the sides than up, but maybe you play around with up a little bit. So same idea here, wrists face away, and then fingers curl in. Keep going with this movement, maybe even close your eyes so that you can really feel into the sensations in the arms, the wrists, the entire upper body perhaps. Breathe a little bit deeper and notice if your head has started to lean way forward or way back, or maybe it's a subtle shift forward or back. Keep the nose pointing forward and lengthen out to the back of the neck. Let's go ahead and bring the hands, palms down to the thighs. Shrug your shoulders to your ears like you're trying to make your neck disappear. Take a big breath in. Then long exhale, slowly melt the shoulders away from your ears. Keep letting them get heavier and heavier. All right, we're gonna move to a tabletop position next. So hopefully the wrists feel nice and warmed up. Stacking your shoulders right over your wrists. And think about using your shoulders more than your wrists in this position. So a lot of the time we end up with some wrist pain when we're weight bearing on our hands in yoga, especially if we start to do some chaturangas or some planks. So you can use your shoulders. So drive the shoulders right over the wrists and activate through your shoulders. We're going to go ahead and shift the whole body forward a little bit as we drop the belly. Bend your elbows, finding cow, lift your chin, tilt the tailbone up. And then keep this extension in the spine, but take a little peek over your left shoulder. We're going to find cat. Draw the belly button to the low back and curl your chin right down toward your chest. And again, drive down through your shoulders. Maybe you give your head a good little shake or nod. We're going to climb back into cow, drop the belly, soften at the elbows so you can pull the heart through, tail lifts, and then take a little peek over your right shoulder. And just notice if you're forcing these ranges of motion. I know I can get a little bit over enthusiastic. We want to just allow the body to open gradually. Let's come back into cat, curl in on yourself, tail tucks, chin toward your chest. We're going to move with breath. Inhale as you find cow. Take a peek over your left shoulder. And then exhale back into cat right through the midline. Cow, this time look to the right, breathing in. And then cat, curl the spine, press the mat away. Maybe you even come up onto the tips of your fingers like little cat claws. You can keep the finger pads down or come onto your palms as you slide back into cow, breathing in. And then cat right down through the center. Option to come up onto your fingertips. Couple more rounds straight through the midline. So cow, chin tilts up, gaze moves up. And then cat, curling in on yourself. Shrug your shoulders toward your ears. Think about 2 more rounds here, moving with your breath. Moving through whatever range of motion feels good for today. And sometimes I like to think about finding a way to move that feels satisfying. Sometimes it doesn't feel so good. Go ahead and find neutral. My hope is that it does. But in lieu of good, can we focus on creating like, oh, that's a satisfying way to move today. Tuck the toes under, bring your knees and your feet all the way together. And then we're gonna walk the hips back toward the heels, finding a little perch on the heels. We're stretching the plantar fascia pretty significantly here. We're gonna try and even keep that pinky toe tucked under. If this feels like way more sensation than your body's interested in today, you can always take some weight off of the balls of the feet by coming onto the hands. If you are perched on your heels, we're gonna reach the arms up overhead, catching the opposite elbows, and then lift the shoulders and the ribs away from your hips. We're gonna try and keep our balance here. So we're in almost like a little toe stand, engage the core, and then just the ribs and the upper body. So everything from the ribs up, draw some circles. Whichever direction you naturally started in, keep going in that direction. Just make note of it. Maybe one or two good more circles in whatever direction you started. When you're ready, pause in the center and then reverse that. Draw your belly button in toward your lower back, hugging in through the sides of the waist. I'll turn to the sides. You can kind of see there is some movement in the spine, yeah. Long inhales and slow exhales as best as you can manage that breath. And right through the middle, reach the arms up, big breath in. And then reset the hands down, untuck your toes. It might feel good to slowly or quickly paddle out the tops of the feet. We're gonna come back into that tabletop position. If you migrated forward with me, find the center of the mat again. Keep both of your hands down. Tuck the left toes under, drag the ball of the left foot back, and then push with your hands into your left calf. So you're stretching out through the back of that leg and ankle. We'll shift forward, use your arm strength. Shoulders are right over the wrist. Float that left leg up. Maybe you circle the ankle point or flex the foot. Keep your left hand down. Draw your belly button to your lower back. And then that right elbow is going to come up. Right fingers leave the mat. And then we're going to go ahead and sweep that right arm all the way up as we reset the left toes down. Push into the base of your left thumb. So you twirl your chest open, keep lifting through the low belly. Nice big breath in. And then bring that right hand down, slide your left knee back underneath your left hip. We're going to take the other side. So tuck the right toes, drag that foot back, push with your hands to stretch to the back of your calf. Breathe here as you find some length in the back of the neck and some ease through your jaw. We shift forward, arms are perpendicular with the ground. You're going to find that word there, and then float that right leg up. Maybe invite some movement into the right ankle or foot. Root down through your right hand. Left fingers start to leave the mat. Bend the left elbow, bring the right toes down, and then reach that left arm up as far as it feels comfortable. So we always have the option to keep that lifted elbow bent a little bit. Sometimes that just feels better in the shoulder. Nice, take a big breath in. Bring the hand and the knee back to the middle. We're gonna go side to side here. Drag the ball of the left foot back, keep the toes down, lift the right elbow or the whole right arm, breathing in, we're finding a twist. And then exhale back to your tabletop. Slide the right toes back, lift the left arm, take a big breath in. Back to tabletop on your exhale. Take this a couple more times, right? So opposite leg goes back as the arm that is reaching. We inhale to open into that twist and exhale to return to center. Let your eyes follow the moving hand. As it comes up, the gaze goes up. And as that hand comes back down, we look down toward the thumb. Nice big inhales and long, powerful exhales. The next time you've got your left leg back and your right arm lifted, pause. We're going to take the right hand and set it down. Spin the right toes off of your mat out to the side as you come into the knife edge of your left foot. Reset so that right wrist is underneath your shoulder, and then lift the left arm up for your side plank variation. Let your right ear just dangle down toward your right shoulder, and then start to explore some movement with that left arm. You can keep the elbow bent, or you can straighten the arm out, just taking shoulder circles or elbow circles. If you get anything clicky or clunky, go ahead and slow down or change the range of motion. Let's switch directions. Keep lifting out of that bottom hand, using your shoulder, using your core. We'll take that top arm long, rainbowing the spine, really let the right ear dangle. And then we're going to bring the left hand and the left knee back down. Bring the knees and the feet together. Stay on the tops of the feet. This time walk your hips back toward your heels, but the toes are pointing back. So now we're stretching out through the fronts of the shins and the ankles. A little wrist release here. You can draw some kind of infinity signs or just some circles. The idea is just to move through the hands and the wrist without weight on. And we're going to bring the fingers back and start to lean back into your hands. Maybe tuck the fingers, maybe you come all the way onto the palms. We've got the option from here to play with lifting one or both of your knees up. A little bit of balance if we go with both of them. And maybe neither knee wants to lift, that's fine. Can we just picture that knee getting a little lighter? Remember your breath. Go ahead and bring the knees back down if they were lifted. Walk the hands in a little bit. Tuck your tailbone slightly. Start to firm up your glutes. And then maybe we lift the hips away from the heels. If everything feels a-okay here, let's lift the chin away from the chest. So moving the knees in the opposite direction as the chin, opening up through the fronts of the thighs, to the front side of the torso, and even through the throat. One lion's breath as an option here. So it's a big inhale through your nose, and then we almost like roar with the exhale, sticking the tongue out, crossing the eyes. Big breath in. And your tongue back into your mouth. Lower your hips back onto your heels, and then walk the hands forward. You can take a little cat-cow or bump the hips side to side, almost like a little tail wag here. We're just going to move through that on the other side. So this time you're going to bring the ball of the right foot back. Lift the left arm up and open, finding your twist, finding your stretch. Reset the left hand down, keep the right leg long. We're going to spin onto the right foot. Maybe bring the left toes back in space a bit as we lift the right arm for our side plank variation. Option to start to bring some movement into that top arm. Let your left ear dangle so your head is out of the way. Again, you can have a bend in the elbow. If you get any clunking or clicking, maybe just slow things down and stay curious. There's no pain with the sounds. Oftentimes the advice is just to, okay, just breathe through it. If anything feels painful, slow down and reduce the range of motion or bend the elbow. Switch directions if you haven't. You're gonna rainbow that right arm, lifting the hips, really let your left ear dangle down. Take a big breath in. And then hands and knees, tuck the toes under here. We're gonna lift the knees gradually and then straighten the legs, finding our downward facing dog. In down dog, spread the fingers out, root down through the base of your index finger, the heel of your thumb, and maybe even the base of the middle finger, as well as the knife edge of your hand. And breathe into your stretch. Always another nice place to give the head a gentle nod or a little shake. Sometimes people like to pedal out their dogs, alternating one heel lifting and the other lowering. From downward facing dog, we're going to float the right leg back in space. And then step the right foot forward, finding warrior one. Root down through the base of your right big toe as you sweep the arms up. And then set the eyes to one spot here, somewhere on the horizon in line with your nose. Let the legs be strong. Maybe even separate the feet a little further and deepen your lunge. Firm up your back leg like a kickstand here. And then with that supportive foundation in your legs, lift the rib cage away from the hips a bit. Use your wrists, lift the ribs even higher, wrists and fingers reaching for the ceiling or the sky. Breathe in. And we're gonna hinge the chest forward as we wing the arms by the sides. Try and roll the shoulders away from the ears, lift your belly button up toward your low back so there's lots of space in the lumbar spine. Rooting down to the base of that right big toe, then try and bring the pinky fingers a little closer together behind you, palms are facing down, really reaching your fingers back, pinkies toward one another. From here, we're gonna start to shift the weight forward. We're gonna end up standing at the top of the mat with the arms reaching up. Step the left foot forward or slide it forward, reach your arms up, take a big breath in, and then bring your hands to your heart as you exhale. Drop the arms to your side, take a peek down, separate your feet about hips distance apart here. Reach the arms up, take a big breath in. We're gonna hinge the hips back, hands come close together with straight arms, and then slide the back of the hands to the insides of the knees. Find some strength in your core here, and then we're gonna go right elbow reaches up. Keep pressing the back of that left hand into the inside of the left leg. And then reset that right hand down. Push out with the back of the right hand into the right knee. Left elbow lifts up. Bring your hands inside of the knees, and then we're gonna stand all the way up, breathing in, reaching the arms up. Fold forward, nice long exhale. Ragdoll here for a moment as you catch the crypts of the opposite elbows and find a little sway of the upper body. Do a little neck check, good place to give the head another shake or release the jaw. Maybe you move the tip of the tongue across the tops of the teeth. Set the hands down. We're just gonna step to downward facing dog again. Find some length in the arms, then send that strength and length in the arms up through the sides of your torso. Left leg will lift, take a breath in. And then step forward, find warrior one on this side. So settling into your lunge, checking in with all those major points in the body, feet, knees, legs, hips, making little adjustments as needed. And sometimes the biggest, most important adjustment is to deepen our breath and just notice, right? What's available to us right now? What's the lesson? What's the message? What's being shown to us? How can we move toward whatever opportunity has arisen? Wing the arms by your side, hinge it forward. Start to shift the weight forward. The next place we land is standing tall at the top, slide or step the right foot forward. Reach the arms up, feet are split about hips distance. And then exhale, bring the backs of the hands to the insides of the knees. Right elbow lifts, breath in. Bring that right hand back down on the breath out. Take it to the left, inhale. Back to the center on the exhale. Stand up tall, straight knees, straight arms, breathe in. And then fold forward, nice long breath out. This time, let's go ahead and separate the feet nice and wide, real wide here. Toes are pointing out, heels are slightly in. And then we're gonna help ourselves down into Malasana, into a yogi squat. We won't be here for a ton of time. I have a fun transition just as an option. If this already feels like absolutely uncomfortable, what can you do to support yourself a little bit? Maybe just deepening your breath. If Malasana, you have some degree of access to this shape relatively with a sense of equanimity or ease, we'll reach the arms forward, bring the biceps toward the ears, tuck the tailbone a little bit, pull your belly to your lower back, and then we're gonna try and gently set the butt down and float the legs up, finding a high boat. Maybe we catch hold of the backs of the thighs. For 3, steady your breath to support yourself, to calm your mind for 2. And 1, feet down, hug the knees into your chest rather, and roll onto your back. And give the knees a gentle hug, or maybe you rock side to side, massaging the sides of your lower back or the edges of your hips. Set the feet down about hips distance apart underneath your knees. Bring your arms to your side and a little distance away from your body, palms down. Push into the palms, push into the feet, shrug the shoulders together, and then lift your hips up. Just one bridge. Drive your chest toward your chin as you push your knees away from your body. When you're ready to come out, like you're setting down a strand of beads, the tailbone is the bead that we want to set down last. So a little bit of abdominal engagement, shift the hips toward the heels as you slowly roll back onto your back. Bring your arms into a T or a goalpost as you tabletop the knees, and then just find a nice easy twist, dropping the knees to the right. And keep the nose pointing straight up, or if it feels good, tilt your chin to the left. On an inhale, come back to the center. And then switch, find your twist to the left. And start to work your way back to the center. Reach your hands between your knees as you separate your knees and catch hold of the back of the feet with the hands, interlacing to make a sling there. Let your knees point out to the side as you hug the heels in gently. Just do a little quick check-in with yourself. You set aside the time to be here, to move, to breathe, to just explore, right? The little nooks and crannies of our bodies, our minds, our spirits. If there's anything else that you need for your practice to feel satisfying and complete before you come into a resting shape, then add that in. And when you're ready, find Shavasana or some version of a resting shape. Allow the efforting to start to fall away from the body. Let everything you can fade into the background. Give yourself permission to receive just about a minute of stillness, finding some nourishment in this brief pause to rest. And keep the eyes closed, but start to bring your awareness back into the room or the space that you're practicing. And slowly invite some movement, maybe circling the ankles or the wrists or nodding the head side to side. Take all the time in the world to work your way from whatever resting shape you are in to a seat. Maybe curl into the fetal position for a moment along the way. When you land, you recreate that nice tall spine. Bring the hands to the heart, either palm over palm or in Anjali Mudra. Shrug the shoulders up towards your ears as you take a big breath in, big inhale. Sip in as much breath as you can. Pause just for a moment at the top. Maybe you find you can sip in a little bit more breath. And then let it go. Thank you for sharing your energy, your time. Please keep taking good care of yourself. I hope to see you again soon.